This video is brought to you by Skillshare. Stay tuned to find out more. What's going on, y'all? I'm Pro the GOAT with Hip Hop Madness, and I've been narrating these videos for y'all for the past 2 years. Shout out to the day ones, by the way. But yeah, we started picking the channel back up around 20,000 subscribers, and we're almost at 200,000 subscribers right now. So shout out to y'all. And I figured y'all might as well see my face since y'all been hearing my voice for so long. So yeah, hit me up, follow me, shoot me a DM, and let me know if y'all like this new format and if y'all agree with the topic of today's video, which is J. Cole, hip hop's reluctant leader. Let's get into it. Some rappers are often idolized to the point where they seem almost unapproachable. There's a notion that the rappers whose bars paint vivid pictures in our minds and make the rap world a better place are somehow immune to the misguidedness that we occasionally find ourselves dealing with. But when you strip away the layers of fame, the bravado, and the wealth, they're all subject to the same conflicting emotion and rash decision making that misrepresent us all. No matter how they portray themselves on wax or in strategically distributed interviews, we're all equally capable of a slip up when the stars don't exactly align all the way for us. Since J. Cole transitioned from a wide-eyed young North Carolina representer with a dollar and a dream to an insightful rapper with a knack for striking a chord with every word, Cole has been viewed by many as a generational voice, the self-appointed middle child that can heal the beefs between old heads and the new generation. Cole has naturally ascended to a position of influence in the rap game, based not only on his immense talent, but through his considered approach to the culture and cultural matters. Cole is usually unlikely to step onto a landmine of controversy. But after bringing attention to No Name's claims that he hadn't been doing enough at the height of the Black Lives Matter protests, the rapper that his critics see as boring or preachy temporarily found himself in the role of the accused. Opting for pragmatic analysis, he casually released Snow on the Bluff, a response that acknowledged his ignorance while attempting to lay out a blueprint for how the woke people can more effectively convey their message to someone less learned. Needless to say, the reaction was mixed, and in that moment, Jermaine knew he f***ed up. I'm just kidding. Jermaine knew that he needed to take accountability for his shortcomings, stating this: "I stand behind every word of the song that dropped last night. Right or wrong, I can't say, but I can say that it was honest. I haven't done a lot of reading, and I don't feel well equipped as a leader in these times, but I do a lot of thinking, and I appreciate No Name and the others like her because they challenge my beliefs, and I feel that in these times, that's important." And in the grand scheme of social media firestorms, this was just a minor infraction. However, why this story has taken on a life of its own doesn't come solely from the so-called beef between Cole and No Name, but actually what it told us about Cole's perception of himself. Unbeknownst to the wider world, it seemed like Cole wanted to keep the role of being a role model at arm's length. Nevertheless, he might have an uphill battle ahead if he wants to truly release himself of the burden of being a man that leads by example. So I want to take a quick little break right here and thank our friends at Skillshare, a unique service that enables creatives to turn their dreams into reality. Taking the knowledge and know-how to the general public, Skillshare offers thousands of classes that'll provide you with the tools to make headway with your chosen craft, whether it be learning how to rap, making beats, or editing music videos. Skillshare has you covered. In fact, we leveled up by finding out how to mix this video's music by the legend Young Guru, who was the one that sculpted a lot of Jay-Z's most legendary tracks. The famed engineer makes the secrets of the pros more accessible than ever before. So what are you waiting for? Skillshare works out to be less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. However, the first 1,000 people to click the link in the description get a 2-month free trial of premium membership and access to their massive learning library. Head over to Skillshare now and start your journey. Beloved by the world over, Cole has even been granted the spokesperson role from the most unlikely sources. So this is what Trippie Redd had to say to Montreality.
I grew up listening to J. Cole. I just knew when he first came out, one of the GOATs, you feel me? He's hard. He is a rapper. He gives you nothing but bars and lyrical play, which is amazing. He'll play around with it and give you the real the whole time. And I really appreciate him and with his music because he's doing something for the culture that.
Sporting all of the hallmarks of a rapper that rally against tradition, Trippie's words speak to an admiration for Cole that's based on both skill and greater intentions. Something which, from the outside looking in, Cole would accept graciously. But if Cole feels ill-prepared to shepherd hip-hop through uncertain times and towards a brighter tomorrow, well, he's got a pretty funny way of showing it. Aired at 2019's Day in Vegas festival, Cole teased his upcoming album with a piece of propaganda. Playfully alluding to the 2020 presidential campaign, the promo video paints him as,
"He is a man whose humility knows no bounds, a man with a pen so potent, each word of his verses reportedly costs $2,000. We need someone with big ideas and bold solutions.
Taking out the garbage.
An expert in diplomacy, a candidate who can heal the intergenerational war."
In isolation, this could be seen as one instance where he reflected on some of his accomplishments as a means to comically stroke his ego and hype. But when coupled with the general conduct, it seems that Cole has always been destined to be something greater than a self-contained artist. And when we say always, we mean always. As he progressed from unsigned hype to a prestigious spot on Rock Nation, Cole, riding high off of his incredible verse on Jay-Z's A Star Is Born, which is personally one of my favorite J. Cole verses, he's primed to take the torch for a new generation. But when he was gearing up to bolster the commercial appeal of his debut album with the Kanye sampling of Workout, it fell flat of a rap icon's original assessment of him. Having written a song about the experience on Born Sinner, the news that Cole had let Nas down initially came through revered producer No ID.
Or he called me about a week later. He was like, I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. I was in the studio with Nas, and we was talking about you, man. And he was like, yo, why did he do that? Like, why did he put out that song? Don't he know he's the one? He ain't gotta do that. So I'm on the phone getting defensive, like, what you mean? I'm getting mad defensive. I'm saying wild things that I ain't gonna say on camera, but I'm getting defensive, you know what I mean? Because they don't know what I had to go through. But I was hurt, really.
So, what his retelling of the scenario doesn't take into account is that to let Nas down, he'd have to be conscious of the inbuilt scrutiny that comes from his position in the first place. With greatness thrust on his shoulders from the very beginning, Cole's keen mind and grand plans gave him an ambassadorial role as a positive export for the culture even before he'd even accomplished anything. And while he perhaps never quite released a consensus classic in the same vein as an Illmatic, a Ready to Die, or an All Eyes on Me, projects such as 2014 Forest Hills Drive, For Your Eyes Only, and the examination of habitual substance abuse that is KOD, they have all solidified his position as a thought-provoking force. Never one to dominate the singles chart, but prolific on the album front. See what I did there? Cole operates with the mentality of an underground MC that, through his initial presentation as a potential chart-topping rapper, has retained a broader audience than the music that he makes is necessarily intended for, cementing his position as a respected artist through consistency and undeterred drive. This free reign is exactly what's enabled him to behave like a figurehead, and it's an opportunity that he's undeniably seized. One example of this is when he decided it was up to him to forcibly take Lil Pump and a whole generation of Lils under his wing on the Shoe Fit scenario in the song 1985, before sitting down for crisis talks with Pump on camera. What was that supposed to communicate to the world other than that he was safeguarding hip-hop's future, right? From this vantage point, we can really unpack Cole's position. Although he may have felt incubated by fame and capable of doing little more than showing face at a protest, Cole lets us know that he isn't some astute political mind. But through his own personal anecdotes or life lessons that he's inserted into his songs and the fraternal attitude that he approaches hip-hop with, he also proves that he's anything but one of those false prophets that he forewarned fans of back in 2016. Whether or not the fall off will mark the beginning of his last victory lap as an artist, Cole has successfully become a conduit through which greatness can flourish. Meaning that if he's not quite willing to accept being a leader, he's most certainly a nurturer. To affirm that, look no further than his illustrious feature run at 2018 to 2019, Working with everyone from Guru and contemporaries such as Big Crit and Rhapsody to Offset, 21 Savage, and Moneybagg Yo, this fleeting but fertile run saw him bridging every gap in the game while enriching his own experience at the same time. Fittingly brought to an end on a beautiful family and loyalty, this informal campaign for hip-hop unity was born of a concerted effort to set an intention to say yes way more than I say no. Say yes to features, step outside of my comfort zone. I don't want to be done with rap years from now and then look back and be like, damn, I didn't even work with nobody, he told XXL. I don't want to have no regrets. I want to know that I left no stone unturned. While partially built on a personal fulfillment, it seems too coincidental that his brief features run came at a time when it was for the betterment of the dialogue between hip-hop's warring tribes. Technically, it's possible that he's operating to his own code, and it just so happens that it uplifts those in his gravitational pull at the same time. However, that would be all well and good if his Dreamville label wasn't actively making relationships and opening up the lines of communication between hip-hop's rival groups. While collabs between camps are an industry standard, the Revenge of the Dreamers 3 sessions were an exercise in camaraderie that has actively changed the hip-hop landscape as we know it today. Successful in placing artists on creative collision courses that might have otherwise just been ships in the night, this is evident in JID's version of the events, which paints an inspiring scene that only someone of Cole's stature can bring about. I want to do this for the rest of my life. Just collab and record, be around creatives. It's all respect, it's all love, no egos. It's like losing your virginity every night for the first time. Pause, I guess. It's that dope. You make relationships with people outside of whether a song even gets done. Rather than a marketing tagline for Dreamville's artists to repeat, the scale of what Cole accomplished and what it says about his position in the game was brought to light by Ghetto Sage's Smino.
I don't know who else could have pulled like this together and it be all positive. It takes somebody like Cole, you know what I'm saying, for it to make it some positive ass, you feel me?
Whether he views himself in that light or not, Smino's words all but confirm that J. Cole is a man whose rhymes, record label, and seal of approval all wield genuine power. So whether or not he feels fit to lead the way, J. Cole's status as the bridge between hip-hop's many realms have made him a fitting candidate to guide a culture that often struggles to stay on the same page. This has been a Hip Hop Madness original. Make sure to stay tuned and stay up to date on everything we got going on by hitting that subscribe button and notification bell. Oh, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Hip Hop Madness and join the movement. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at ProTheGoat. Hit me up, send me a DM, let me know what other videos you want me to do and what other topics you want me to discuss. Let's talk hip hop.